Well, hello everyone. And hi, Ronnie. You know, what an honor it is for me to speak about you today, my dear friend. But you know, I have to talk about the Ronnie I know and I love. My first experience with Ronnie was at a Toronto hotel. Um, that sounds bad. Let me continue. When he was headlining the showroom and our young R&B band were playing the dance club down the hall. We all snuck in between sets to hear Ronnie play and the band, and we were just blown away. We said to ourselves, we better do our homework. Thanks to you, Hazel, too. Do our homework. Anyways, the next morning on our way to breakfast, we followed this trail of empty beer and whiskey cases, some broken furniture and assorted clothing. And we asked the staff what happened, and they said, Rompin' Ronnie had a party. I officially met Ronnie, though, in the mid-'80s when he was playing the Royal York's Imperial Room, and the maitre d', my dear father, Louis Janetta, introduced us. Unbeknownst to me, my dad had slipped Ronnie's manager my first album, and as a favor, he had taken it to the Midem Festival in France. He came back with some offers and asked if he could manage me. Now, I had my own band, but my Rock and Roll 101 initiation was the honor of being a backup singer for Ronnie Hawkins and the Hawks, and what a ride that was. The cast of characters that surrounded Ronnie at any given time left me gasping in awe or sometimes running for cover. Everybody wanted Ronnie. When he wasn't performing for presidents, headlining shows in Europe or at Massey Hall, he'd work with some of the greatest artists and musicians in the world, and I luckily got to meet them. Countless shows, from playing Farm Aid with Gordon Lightfoot and Burton Cummings to Edmonton's Klondike Days with Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Chubby Checker, to starring at the Mississauga Board of Trade Gala, where Ronnie asked me to sing a song. And the applause was pretty loud for this hometown girl. Then he jokingly whispered into the mic, "That might be the last time you get a solo, darling." I never knew who would show up to see Ronnie. Bob Dylan one night, Garth Hudson playing keys the next. But how thrilled I was to join Ronnie and Bo Diddley for a triple bill on the Imperial Room stage. Ronnie announced to the sold-out room, "You better not get too close to Patty. Her daddy's in the mafia." Remember? We were playing our annual New Year's Eve gig at Nathan Phillips Square live on City TV. That year, the show was sponsored by the fur industry, and we were wearing very expensive coats. I'm sure you remember that, Wanda. Something smelled really bad, and we discovered Ronnie trying to get warm, standing really close to a stage heater, and when we looked, his fur coat was on fire. What a commotion on live TV yet. We laughed so hard it hurts. You know, so many memories, but it would take me a year up here to tell you even a few of them. But I have to mention that a group of us got to lobby Parliament, went on a bus, you know, Burton Cummings, Randy Bachman, a whole bunch of us, all the way to Ottawa, and we actually changed the copyright law in Canada for all Canadian musicians, and that law still stands today. But most of us figured it was the way Mr. Charming sweet-talk Flora MacDonald. You know, friends came from everywhere to toast the good times. Sorry. A few years ago, Ronnie and his beautiful wife, Wanda, hosted the last hurrah. They were moving from the place that held precious memories for them, their family, and so many of us. Friends came from everywhere to toast the good times. People like Jim Cuddy, the Weber brothers, Robbie Lane, and his longtime buddy, Chris Christopherson. A litany of artists who had learned so much from a man who'd given his heart and soul to music and launched the careers of countless musicians who went on to their own fame and fortune. As Ronnie took to the stage to sing a rousing rendition of Who Do You Love, reunited with cherished pals and a few of us Hawkettes, including B.J. Cook and Beverly D'Angelo, it struck me, we all love you, Ronnie. Just look at the many lives you've touched, the mass of people in front of us that day, here today, and everywhere. We're only a small token. Thank you for everything you've done for the Canadian music industry. And congratulations, Ronnie Hawkins, our Mr. Dynamo, on your induction into the Legends Row Walk of Fame.